Ahead of the Angels' first summer camp workout, baseball's biggest name, Mike Trout, took questions today and expressed concern about participating in the 2020 season. Right now, he's going to play when games are scheduled to start in 3 weeks. However, he did not rule out changing his mind given the fact his wife is pregnant with their first child due in August.
Honestly, still don't feel comfortable. Obviously with the baby coming, there's a lot of stuff going through my mind right now, my wife's mind, my family, just trying to be the safest and most cautious way to get through a season. My mindset is to play. I want to play. It's just a tough situation. I got to play it by ear. You never know what could happen tomorrow or the next day. There's an outbreak or just a lot of questions I don't know the answers to. We want to play. It's going to come down to how safe we're going to be. If there's an outbreak or something happens, these next few weeks, you definitely got to consider. I definitely got to reconsider. There's a lot of questions. I love baseball, but I got to do what's right for my family sometimes. And, majority of the time I got to do everything for my family. And, it's going to be a tough decision if something happens up down the road. I talked to a lot of guys across the league, and they're texting me a lot. I'm not going to name any names, but just, it's just a crazy, they're all thinking the same thing. Is this going to work? We just got to stay safe and obviously be as cautious as we can. I love this game. I think everybody wants baseball back. I think, being away from the game so much. I mean, I'm sitting in my house middle of June, just can't leave my house. I mean, it's a crazy situation. And obviously everybody's trying to get this game back. But we got to get it back the right way and the most healthiest and safest way.
A lot there to digest. ESPN MLB insider Jeff Passan joins us now. Jeff, that's the biggest star in the game, saying point blank, I don't feel comfortable playing baseball under these conditions. What impact do you suppose that sentiment will have on the sport and its return?
I think Mike Trout, Kevin, is really echoing the sentiments of a lot of players out there right now who are looking at this training camp as a time to figure out whether the 2020 season is something that they actually want to do. Now, Mike Trout's in a different position than most players. His wife is, as you said earlier, pregnant with their first child. Zach Wheeler, however, wife pregnant with a child. Bryce Harper, wife pregnant with a child. Garrett Cole, congratulations to him and his wife Amy, who had their first child today. Those are such extreme circumstances that with what we don't know about the coronavirus, as much as what we do know, that's why it's so much more difficult for players who have those kinds of situations to make a decision that's as difficult as it is whether to play or to go home.
Jeff, 38 positive COVID-19 tests. That's just more than 1%, which is lower than the percentage in the NBA, significantly so. What's the reaction, Jeff, been around baseball to that number?
Shock, surprise. I think some optimism, honestly, because oddly enough, Kevin, if you remember a couple months ago, there was a seroprevalence test, an antibody test that was done on Major League Baseball, not just players, but employees. And as an industry, it was about 1% infection rate. I think people were expecting 7, 8, 10, 12% this time. So to come back at just over 1%, it's a pleasant surprise because it's a lot more cases that you don't have to deal with at the beginning, in the hope, while Major League Baseball is not inside of a bubble like the NBA is going to be, like the NHL might be, the hope is that when you have teammates with one another and you have veterans saying to those younger guys, you have to follow these protocols, very similar to what Mike Trout said, you have to follow these rules, and if we stay healthy, we're going to win, that is going to be the incentive to keep everybody from falling off the path and ultimately getting coronavirus and spreading it throughout the clubhouse.
Yeah, a glimmer of hope in an off-season, spring and summer, where there hasn't been much of it, albeit for different reasons. ESPN MLB insider Jeff Passan, many thanks.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.